Hi Earth Angels, it's Stargirl the Practical Witch, and welcome to another one of my pick a card readings. Today we are going to figure out what is coming for you January 2019. So before we get started, I need you to pick one of the four groups. This is group 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you've picked a group, you can fast forward to the timestamp I provide down below to see what your results are. If you need to pause the video to meditate on the cards, feel free to do so. I also ask that you pick with your intuition and gut and not your eyes. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the video. Alright, group number 1, let's see what January 2009 has in store for you. So one thing I'm seeing is there is a lot of romance energy in the decks today, and I don't know why, because I wouldn't normally think of January being a touchy-feely month, but there is a lot of romance in the air for January 2019. And one thing I'm seeing for you guys is there's going to be someone who has a secret crush on you, and by the end of January their feelings are going to be known, their feelings are going to come out. Now the downside is, because the Two of Cups isn't paired with any touchy-feely cards, I mean we have swords, and swords aren't cuddly, and the only fire energy we have is a man holding up a baton like don't touch me. So what this is telling me is you're not going to reciprocate those feelings, or you're not going to be open to having a relationship with this person. Now this could also go the other way. It could mean that you could have a crush on somebody who doesn't reciprocate your feelings. So I'm seeing a lot of misconnections when it comes to love. I'm seeing a lot of people having feelings for others who don't have feelings, or having feelings for someone you can't be with, or not being able to be with the person you have feelings for. So unfortunately, it doesn't look amazing in regards to love, but remember, the universe always works in divine timing, so I'm sure there's a higher reason. And for those of you in a relationship, I'm seeing that it's quite possible your partner may try to get closer to you, or your partner may try to reignite the spark in your relationship, but I'm seeing that for some reason you might be closed off from receiving that affection. I'm sort of seeing in January 2019 you're going to be very closed off from getting close to anyone romantically or emotionally, and I see that you're not willing for some reason in January to get vulnerable. Now I don't know if it's because of some past hurt that happened in 2018, but I'm definitely seeing like a hesitation to getting close to anyone, or a hesitation to really pursue anything where your heart could get hurt. So another thing that I'm seeing is that there could be someone in January who's very, very bossy and controlling of you. They might try to tell you what to do. They might try to get you to believe what they believe. They might be someone who tries to take away your power. This might be someone who always needs to be in charge and always belittles you, always bosses you around. This might be someone who's very harsh with their words towards you, or someone who's really rude towards you. And I'm seeing that in January 2019, this is going to come to a boiling point, and you are going to stand up to whoever it is that is controlling you, or being nasty. Or for instance, this could manifest as your parents being overbearing in a way that's very stifling, or this could be a friend that always puts you down, or you always have to do what they want to do, or this could be a significant other. But I'm definitely seeing someone in January trying to control you, trying to tell you what to do, trying to tell you what to think, and kind of put you in your place and make you submit to them. But I definitely see you standing up for yourself and drawing boundaries against this person. And I see you really being empowered in January, where you're confident enough to draw boundaries and say no. Because maybe before you might have been someone who is very soft-spoken or easygoing, or go with the flow, or someone who just didn't want to start any drama, so you were very passive in situations. But in January, I see you standing up for yourself. I see you saying no to people. I see you setting boundaries. I see you not letting yourself be a doormat in January. Another thing that I'm seeing is there's a lot of athlete cards and king and the Seven of Wands. So this makes me believe that in January, you guys are actually going to compete in some sort of competition. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. Not all the messages are going to resonate with everyone, but I'm going to try to get all of them. So I'm seeing that some of you may compete in some sort of competition and actually win or come out on top. I am seeing that. I am seeing some sort of victory in January for everybody. I'm seeing some sort of win where you come out on top. You don't come out as the loser. This could be from standing up to your bully or standing up to the person who just disrespects your boundaries, or this could be an athletic competition or any kind of competition. I also see in January there's going to be a lot of physical activity and physical exercise. So one of your New Year's resolutions may have been to start going to the gym, or one of them might have been to get your body better. So I'm definitely seeing in January there's going to be a lot of fitness in your daily routine. And I am going to warn you of this. Remember, nothing I say is meant to scare you, but I feel like your spirit guides want me to warn you about this. I do see the Seven of Wands and the Eight of Swords paired with the Athlete card. So this is telling me that you need to be careful when you're working out. This kind of reminds me of sports injuries. So if you break your ankle, or if you sprain your ankle, don't go out and exercise some more. Give yourself some time to rest, or if you eat, make sure to give your food time to digest, because I am seeing that there's a possibility you might push yourself too far and a exercise injury could happen. Let's see, what else am I seeing? Okay, so I'm getting a lot of masculine energy. I have the Sun card, I have Athlete, I have King. So what this is telling me is that you are going to have a lot of energy in January. You're going to be very motivated to get things done. You know how sometimes we have days, months, weeks where we don't want to get out of bed, we have no drive? That is not going to be you in January. You are going to be very driven, very determined to succeed, very ambitious in January. And I see you having a goal and trying to conquer it. I'm also seeing just some sort of victory. There's so many victory cards on here. There's so many coming out on top cards. So expect in January to win some sort of power struggle, or win some sort of competition, or finally be respected because you've finally shown your strength in January. Let's see, what else am I seeing? And then I have the card, it is safe for you to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a loving way that benefits others as well as yourself. So January is the month where you are empowered and you're not afraid to stand up for yourself, and you draw boundaries and you learn how to say no to people, and people start respecting you because of it. And okay, so I am getting the Sun card, so this also makes me believe that there might be an emphasis on your relationship with your father in January. So this could be positive, where you guys get closer, or this could be negative, which means you get into some sort of fight. But there's definitely going to be a relationship with a father or a father figure in January that is emphasized. And that's all I'm seeing for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next group. Happy New Year, guys. All right, group number 2, let's see what January 2019 has in store for you. So one thing I'm seeing is that there's a lot of miscommunication cards. We have the Three of Swords, which is a notorious miscommunication card, and we also have Mercury retrograde, and during Mercury retrograde, communication goes all out of whack. So what I'm seeing is that in January, expect there to be some sort of miscommunication going on. And we also have the Networker card. So this makes me believe that your spirit guides want me to warn you, be very careful about what you post on social media, because this is something that could bite you in the butt later. And I'm never saying anything to scare you. I'm never saying anything to, make you anxious, but All I'm trying to do is give you a warning so you can better prepare for the future. So be extra careful about what you say, what you post, what you retweet on the internet. I'm just seeing a lot of internet or social media drama that you are a part of. I'm just seeing a lot of sending a text and meaning it one way and somebody else takes it the other way. So for those of you who don't have social media, I'm seeing just like a miscommunication in what you mean. For instance, you could be talking to someone and you could say one thing and they might get totally offended even if you don't mean it that way. So definitely watch out like what words you're saying to other people. Be more thoughtful before words come out of your mouth, because I am seeing some hurtful words or misunderstood words that are taken the wrong way. And another thing I'm seeing is Mercury retrograde also impacts computers and cars, anything electronic. So some of you may need a new phone, some of you may get a new phone, some of you may get a new computer, some of you may get a new car, or some of you may experience some sort of difficulties with any of those things. So I'm definitely seeing a way you communicate is going to be impacted. Okay, so let's see what else I'm seeing. Okay, so back on the romance. So what I'm seeing is that, keep in mind guys, this is a general message, so there is going to be multiple different messages. But I'm seeing that some of you who are single right now, you have an ex that's going to make a reappearance in January. And I have a feeling they're going to try to message you or contact you on social media. This is going to be someone who wants to rekindle a relationship with you. And this is going to be someone where it didn't work out in the past. So I'm definitely seeing an ex crawling back to you, getting the New Year's blues or something, having regrets and coming back to you. And you should expect a message in January, either over social media or a text message. For those of you who are single and you don't have an ex, I'm actually seeing that it's very, very likely that a new romantic love interest is going to come into your life in January, because we have the card new romance is imminent, either with a newcomer or through reignited passion in your existing relationship. So I am definitely seeing someone new coming into your life, and I'm seeing this as, I'm almost getting the feeling of January is going to be a time for you guys where you're really infatuated, you're really in love, you have a big crush, you're infatuated on the shiny new thing. I just sort of see you guys being in a very dreamy like state in January, where you're infatuated, you have a huge crush, you're in love with love, this person is all you can think about, this person is all you want to talk to, you're waking up in the morning and singing to the birds. Like, for some reason, if you guys picked group number 2, expect to be very infatuated and in love with somebody. And this is the same for if you're already in a relationship. This could mean that there's going to be a renewal in your relationship where the passion is going to be reignited. And I'm almost seeing January is going to be a month for you guys where you just see the beauty in everything. You're in such a positive mood. Nothing can get you down. You're on cloud 9. I'm also seeing that there's going to be an improvement in health. So some of you who have been sick in 2018, I'm seeing that your health is going to really improve. And another thing I'm seeing is that a lot of you are going to pick up a new art that you've never picked up before or never pursued before. And it's going to be something you're very passionate about. And I'm seeing that with delights in the arts without having to be a professional. So definitely expect to pick up a new art form and be very passionate about learning it. So now one thing I'm seeing, guys, is that there is an abundance of pink in your spread. And when I see a abundance of a certain color, I pay attention to it, because each color has its own vibrational frequency, which carries with it a message. So there's a lot of pink, which is telling me that your heart chakra is going to be wide open in January. And the message I'm getting from your spirit guides is be very discerning about who you let into your heart right away, because I'm almost seeing a naivety, and I'm not calling you guys naive at all, but I'm seeing a idealistic tendency in January, a tendency to idolize situations or not see the negative because you're floating on cloud nine. You're emotionally vulnerable, your heart is open, and I don't know why you're going to be extra vulnerable to love or extra mushy in January, but I'm definitely seeing it. And your spirit guides want me to warn you to be very careful. Now let's see if I'm seeing anything else. Okay, so the last thing I'm seeing is that I really do see you guys in January making a really big New Year's resolution change where you get rid of things that are no longer serving you, whether it's people, whether it's material things. I see you really clearing out space from the old so you can welcome in the new. And I'm also seeing that in January, whether you mean to or not, you're sort of going to reinvent yourself for the better. So I see you being more conscious about the foods you eat. I see you being more conscious about like how much you work out. I see you taking more time on your skincare routine or taking more time doing your hair, because I think in January, one thing that's really going to be important to you is taking care of yourself and your appearance. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that there's going to be this new love interest catching your eye. So I'm definitely seeing that as well. So expect to like what you see in the mirror a lot more in January, just because you're putting more self-care into yourself. Okay, let's see, am I seeing anything else? That's all I'm seeing, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next group. Happy New Year, guys. All right, group number 3. Let's see what January 2019 has in store for you. Okay, so I am seeing a lot of friendship cards. I'm seeing a lot of 3s. I have the 3 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups. So what this is telling me is January is going to be filled with a lot of socializing, a lot of socializing with your friends, a lot of socializing with your families. I feel like in January, your relationships, especially your friend relationships, are going to be very important to you, and they're going to be very stressed. So expect to go to a lot of parties. I'm definitely seeing the parties. Expect to go to a lot of work gatherings or birthday parties or any sort of party or celebration. Now, one thing I'm seeing is that in January 2009, you're actually going to enjoy going to work or school. And for those of you who don't like what you do during the day, I know that's shocking, but in January, I see you actually, you know, becoming friends with your classmates or becoming closer with your classmates. I see you becoming closer with your coworkers, or maybe there's like a new classmate or a new coworker who comes in January, and I see you making friends there. So in January, expect to make new friends or strengthen your relationship with your coworkers or classmates, because I am definitely seeing that. And I am definitely seeing some sort of teamwork going on in January. So in January, be prepared to start working more in teams. Be prepared to have to socialize more at work or at school, and be prepared to have a very busy social life. You're going to be socializing a lot in January, and that's something I definitely see. Now, one thing I'm seeing is like, in January, you might be a little worried about money, and I am getting that with the money card and the 4 of Pentacles, and you might be very concerned about saving your money, or you might be more conservative about your money, and that's completely responsible, and I respect that. As a Sagittarius, I don't understand. However, I want this is a message I'm sort of getting from your spirit guides, so I can warn you about this. If you focus too much on what you don't have and the lack, you manifest more lack. That is the law this universe runs by. However, if you focus on what you already have and you're grateful and think of all the things you have and are happy for it, you manifest more abundance. That is the law of attraction. That is the law this universe runs by. So if you're worried about money, try not to worry too much. Try not to focus too much of your energy onto it, because you will manifest more lack. Instead, focus on how abundant you are. Say your affirmations. I am abundant in all. I'm abundant in all. I'm rich. And yes, you're supposed to chant that, but I have that in another video. So definitely manifest money in January, because I see that you're going to be very conservative with it. Okay, so like I was telling the other groups, I have a lot of romance cards January 2019, and I don't know why, because normally on a general reading I'm not getting a lot of romance, but I have a lot of romance for each group. And for you guys, what I'm seeing is that I see you being interested in someone in January who you kind of snoop their social media. You might ask your friends around about this person. This might be someone who really piques your interest. This might be someone you know through a friend of a friend or someone you met at a party, but you are going to be infatuated with someone, and I see you asking your friends around about them. Now, this could also go the other way around. I can also see that there might be someone in January who has a crush on you and notices you and knows you through a friend and is actually checking up on you on your social media account, asking all your friends about you, and just in general asking around about you. So in January, expect to have a crush or expect to have someone have a crush on you. So for those of you in a relationship, I'm almost seeing that this is actually going to be a time where you build up your relationship and strengthen your relationship, because we have the card, I am the angel of families. A happy change or addition is coming to your family. So if you're someone who's in a loving long-term relationship and you are trying to have a child, I say that from this card, it is very likely you will conceive in January. Now, for those of you who don't want babies and aren't planning on having babies, do not freak out. This message was not for you. This is for the mothers who really want babies. So for those of you who are in a committed relationship, I do see pregnancy, and I see a strengthening of your relationship, and I see a more secure relationship where the relationship becomes more secure. The relationship becomes more serious. The relationship becomes more comfortable. So all in all, this is a really good outlook for January 2009 love. Now, one thing I am seeing that's a little negative, but I want to warn you about it, because if I see it, I'm going to tell you. But once again, nothing I say is meant to scare you. I'm just trying to give you a cheat sheet of what is to come. I am seeing gossip, and I have the 5 of Swords. So this is making me believe that there's someone in January who, I don't know why, but they're going to be talking a lot of mean things about you. They're going to be talking smack. They're going to be talking about you to your friends or their friends. They're just going to say some really hurtful things about you behind your back. Now, I'm getting that this might be a coworker or someone in your friend group. So there might be someone who's being a little two-faced towards you and is actually going behind your back and saying some really nasty things. But I see that in January, that's going to come out of the woodwork, and you're going to see who that person is. Let's see, what else am I seeing? Okay, so just making sure I got everything. That's all I have for you guys. I want to wish you guys a happy new year. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys later, but not the next guys. All right, group number 4, let's see what January 2019 has in store for you. So one thing that I am seeing is in January, expect to feel a lot more introverted than you normally do. In January, I see you guys being a lot more in your head and a lot more secluded than you normally are. I see you having more of a need to be alone. I see you having more of a need to not be around other people and just sort of have time for yourself, where you watch Netflix or you read a good book or you do your hobby by yourself. And one of the reasons why I think this is because with the 9 of Swords, I'm sensing some sort of really bad anxiety. So in January, there might be something that's keeping you up at night, that is causing you anxiety, that makes you feel worried about the future. And I'm definitely seeing that. Now, this is a general reading, so I don't specifically know what it is. Because there's a lot of you guys and only 4 cards. However, intuitively, I feel like it could be like something you do during the day that causes you anxiety, so school or work. And another thing I'm seeing is that in January, you're going to have to make a really big decision, and this is something that's really going to stress you out, because I have the Gemini card, and with Gemini I think of decisions, either or. This could mean you're a Gemini. However, I don't want to take that card so literally. What I think it means is in January, you are going to have to make a decision between one or the other. And this decision is going to be a big decision. This isn't going to be like, should I have pasta or pizza for dinner? This is going to be a life-changing decision that will change the course of your life. So you'll have to decide either between two people, or which job you take, or maybe you have to choose between friends. But in January, expect to have to make a very big decision that you're confused about, or something that's going to worry you. So one card I have is Vanessa. To make your decision, ask yourself, which way brings me closer to my divine purpose? So this indecision may come from not knowing whether or not you should pursue the practical route in life, or if you should pursue your true passion in life. And one thing I always say to that is, if that's what you're struggling with in January, always choose what you're passionate about, because when you are doing what you are meant to do in this world, you can never fail. The only thing left to do is believe in yourself. And I know that's super cheesy, and you probably just rolled your eyes at me, and I don't blame you, but in January, expect to make a major decision that will change the course of your year. So, okay, one thing I'm seeing too is Don Juan. So there's actually a lot of romance cards in January 2019, and I don't know why, because normally during a general reading, I don't get a lot of romance cards. But this is telling me that somebody in your life may not be who they seem. So somebody in your life could come into your life romantically, or has come into your life romantically, who came in acting so sweet, like a knight in shining armor. And in January, I feel like someone is going to show their true colors. Now, this could be someone pursuing you in a romantic way, or someone you've been seeing in a romantic way, or this could mean a friend who acts like your friend to your face, but really is not your friend. Or this could be someone you thought was your acquaintance actually has your worst interest at heart. So in January, expect to find out the truth in people. Expect to see what's beneath the mask with the people around you. In January, you are going to see people for their true colors, and some of it may be a happy surprise, or some of it could be a not so nice surprise. But in January, you're really going to get to know the people around you a lot better, because their masks are going to come flying off, because we have the Fool and he's taking off his mask. So okay. And then we have Shapeshifter. So what this is also telling me, guys, is that in January, expect to change your mind a lot and be very indecisive. I'm seeing a back forth of, I want to do this, I want to do that, or days where you have a lot of energy and days where you barely have any energy. And this is actually pretty normal, because we are going into the age of Aquarius. And with this age of Aquarius, with us going to the age of Aquarius, our body is going through an energy update, because we're evolving consciousness, and with that comes mood swings, comes energy level swings. So I see that's something that's really going to impact you, and your energy levels are going to be very up and down. You're going to have high highs and low lows, and you're not really going to know what to expect. Now I'm also seeing, now this is a general message, so I am going to get multiple messages, but I'm seeing that some of you who picked this group are meant to be performers. I'm seeing the Fool, I'm seeing Shapeshifter, I'm seeing Gemini, I'm seeing the Sun. So this really tells me some of you may wonder or want to pursue acting or performing, any kind of performing, music performing, acting, YouTube, and some of you may be suffering in January from performance punishment, or you guys might be overthinking it, or you guys might be like, oh, I could never do that, I'll never be good enough. And I'm seeing that in January, this is going to be something that really holds you back. And if you're one of those people who wants to be a performer, I'm here to let you know, if you picked this group, stop letting your anxiety get in your way. Stop being in your head and just do it, because the law of attraction and success rewards people who just do. They don't overthink. So if you're someone who is some sort of artistic performer, in January, put it into action instead of just thinking about it in your head, instead of just dreaming about it, because I see if you do that, you're going to be successful. Okay, I'm also seeing that in January, some of you may feel like you have to put on a happy face for people. So I see you guys are going to be very introspective. You guys are going to be very creative, kind of in your head a lot, maybe a little anxious, maybe a little down in January due to this energy upgrade or due to some sort of anxiety. And I'm seeing that a lot of you are going to have to put on this mask with everyone else, with the Fool, with, you know, Gemini, which is Two-Faced. I feel like you're going to have to play certain roles in certain situations, and this is going to be something that's really draining for you. So you might be with a group of friends and, you know, you have to wear one mask, or you're with your parents and you have to wear another mask, and you're starting to realize in January how exhausting that is and how you just want to be yourself. And I think that's part of the reason you guys might go into a little bit of a recluse stage where you just want to be alone, because that's the one place where you can be authentic. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of demands on you in January. It's going to be a very demanding month, and I don't want you to think this is all negative, and I don't want you to you know, think, I don't want to scare you, but it's all a part of the journey, and the universe works in divine timing, because guess what? We also have true love. So for a lot of you, this could mean that you meet your true love in January. This could mean you're finally doing what you're truly passionate about in life, like performing or art. This could mean that you finally find out who you truly are instead of who you have to play in front of other people. So that's all I have for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and end this pick a card. I know that one was longer than the rest of them, but I feel like there was a stronger message because it was so intense. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as usual, I will see you guys later. Bye.